we're going to start off by warming up by casting a little series. It is an in-house series between a couple of players. It's one accidental replay that got thrown in the mix. We'll delete that one. And here we go. So this was a best of 7 between two Taste the Bacon members, Woublator and Mooninite, who both really wanted to represent the clan in the CTL Finals, which me and Maynard are going to be casting this week, by the way, guys. This very week. Let me just check. Everything's all good. I have a little pin, like a little clip, helping to hold up my my shitty green screen curtain, and it was just barely showing it. People were here fixing things yesterday, guys. So everything's slightly off with my setup because I had to move it all around. But we're getting there, we're getting there. So thank you very much for chilling with us. We're going to dive straight into casting these, then we'll get into Icy Far, which of course there is a new topic for. Thank you very much. Fluxior is our new Eon Blue. Now, unfortunately, like we've always talked about how, you know, Triple Helix and Eon Blue are our fake TLOs. Unfortunately, Fluxior is from the Netherlands, so I guess is our fake Euthermal? Fake Hostyn? C-tier grubby? I don't know. I don't know what we can call Fluxior. Fluxior, who are you most similar to from the Dutch esports scene? Let us know, please. Please do let us know. I'm actually gonna go back and cast this from the start, guys, I think. Will we cast it? Fuck it, let's just go. Let's just go, it's fine. So anyway, you can let us know so we can make fun of you as much as possible. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Let me just type an unhost into chat, make sure sometimes the stream gets silly and keeps on hosting. I think it's fine. Triple Helix with the big 28-month resub. Sup, Eon Blue retired and Fluxior hired. PogChamp. Oh my god. Oh my god, setup so all over this. So did that actually work? No. Sorry, alerts are muted. Let me... My man! There we go. We've got our alerts turned on. Isn't that nice? And we've got me keyboard wrapped in circles around me headphones. Alright guys, let's just go on to Woublator's camera for a sec while I fix this. Oh my god, this is literally, they're like entwined. I'm right now threading a keyboard around a headphone cable. Ugh. My man! I don't know why I wouldn't just do it, the headphones around the keyboard cable, but apparently I'm a genius.
Glory to the Daylom.
I'm like, what's easier? Taking the headphones and moving them around the cable, or taking the entire keyboard and moving those around the headphone cable? I'm a problem solver, guys. Thank you, Triple Helix, for the big 28-month resub. Really appreciate you guys hanging out. So, guys, thank you everyone for dropping in. Guess what? This is an in-house Taste the Bacon match to see who is going to make the cut for the CTL team. CTL Grand Finals being played at the moment. Some of the matches, I think they might all be finished now. They might just be playing the last matches. Either way, we're going to have all the replays soon. Me and Maynard will be casting that this Friday night if you're in North America and Europe, or Friday afternoon, I guess I should say. It's going to be, I believe it's like 4 p.m. West Coast time, 7 p.m. East Coast time is when we're going to be kicking off that broadcast on both my stream and Maynard's stream. So don't forget to tune in there. It is, of course, going to be our own clan, Taste the Bacon. And we're going to be going up against, is it Born Goes 2? I think we're playing Born Goes 2. I can't quite remember. Apparently the last matches have to be played by 7 p.m. EST today, says Wobbulating. Wobbulating, is that Wobbulator? That's Wobbulator, right? Wobbulating is your name? Yeah. This is you, yeah. Resonating Glaives opening, old school. This is one of these builds most Zergs don't look out for anymore, guys. A lot of players struggle against a good adept timing. This is like pretty crisp as well. Already 3 adepts out. Glaives just does need 1 or 2 more chronos. I think we're going to be looking at like a 10 or 11 adept timing at just past like maybe 5 minutes 20. Pretty scary to deal with. And he's going to have a nice quick third behind it. Oh, lovely. Wobbulating does need to get another pylon or 2 because those gateways are finishing up now. Warps in a few more adepts. And how many adepts we got? 7, 6, Yeah, okay. Might just go across with like 7 Adepts and hit right on 5 minutes, which is still pretty brutal. So that Glaives will be finished in 25 seconds by the time they get across the map. And he's going, he's going. These Adepts, they want to kill some drones. Oh, nice. So this is a best of 7 to see who made it into the CTL final lineup, guys. Just a fun in-house for me to start the stream with today. You might be like, best of 7? This is going to take 2 hours. Don't worry, guys. It's Woublator playing. This is the cheesiest Protoss you guys have ever seen. If there's a man where Heart of the Swarm and 2 base timings was his game, it's Woublator. He's my favorite manager from the clan. He's the guy who I saw one game build a pylon here, build 2 robos, and then just make like 6 immortals and do a 1-base 6 immortal warp prism all in versus a Zerg. I was like, that's the dumbest thing ever. That can't work. It worked. And then I actually won a game or 2 on ladder trying it because I was so amazed by the just psychopathic nature of it. I loved it. I loved it. It was great. So anyway, Woublator here kicking some ass. Zergling's not very good against this. There's only a handful of roaches. Oh, those Adepts trading out very nicely. They'd love to get a few more worker kills though. He's gonna shade forward. Ooh, I'd love to see him target those drones down. Waste a few attacks on the roach. Uh-oh, more roaches coming out. The drone's at least being forced off the line. Gets 2 workers, and he's gonna try and do a bit more running around and shading. The drones do a quick turnaround, but the Adepts continuing to disrupt here. Now, the question is the counterattack can be very scary behind this. So these Adepts going to try and hang around. And yeah, double Robo, double Immortal. I love this build. I used to play every PvZ like this back when the Mothership Core was around. And if you can just get out enough Immortals to stop the backstab, it's such a sick build. Gets one. Is he gonna get... Okay. I only got a total of like 3-4 workers there. But is up 10 workers behind it. He's building Immortals, shield batteries. We don't have charge. A couple slow Zealots would be nice, but there's no sentries. Or a Templar Archives either. And that is a problem, guys. I would really love to see a Templar Archives to make a few defensive Archons. Sentry's going to be good, as well as Immortals, some shield batteries. Should be able to hang on. But if you add some Archons, it really ruins the Ravager Ling, because it's kind of funny. There's this point where your opponent attacks with Mass Roach. You're like, I've got force fields to stop you getting right on top of me. Immortals obviously slay Roaches. Great. But then they add Ravagers to break force fields on a lot of Speedlings. And suddenly you're like, oh shit. Zealots are okay versus that. But you often can't get enough. So one of the cool things that you can do as a player is start making Archons. You guys would have seen me doing a Blink All-In versus Master Ravager Ling the other day. I had 2,300 gas and I didn't make a single Archon. I said, well, I guess I can't break Ravager Ling with a timing attack because it's the best defensive composition. And Drogo was in my chat and he was like, Pig, why didn't you make some Archons? And I was like, yeah, 3 Archons would have killed like 80 Zerglings and 6 Ravagers. Fuck. So same thing on the defense. You add a few Archons when someone trying to like Ravage a Bane, Ravage a Ling bust you, it just powers out your comp. So we've got Templar Archives, double Forge as well. Oh, dirty. And a Warp Prism. So if you can get up to 2/2 Zealots, they will slay. Anytime they're fighting away from Banelings, up against Zealots or Zerglings or Hydras, the +2 armor upgrade is really big. +2 armor also makes Immortals literally impossible to kill with Hydralisks if the Hydras don't have attack upgrades. So if you're ever playing against a Zerg who's gone +2 melee, doesn't have range upgrades, you happen to have 2 armor upgrades on those Immortals, it's actually funny. They're like, oh sweet, it's just Immortals versus Hydras, and they think they're gonna win, and the Immortals still just don't die. They're like, no, fuck that. Double Forge for double the cannon, says Florencio. You know it. Because for you guys who don't know, Florencio in chat asking that right now, and it's true. For many people don't know, if you only have 1 forge, you can actually only build 3 cannons every 1 second. There's a hard limit on that. So if you build 2 forges, you can build 6 cannons every second, which is very important because there's a lot of times where you need to build 6 cannons within a 1 second time frame. I mean, otherwise you can't do the 24 cannons in 6 second rush or anything like that, you know, which, you know, Florencio, he's a master of that. He's a god at it. He's pretty freaking sick at it. Worker count's even. Mooninite has just made a shit ton of Roach Ravager, and the Observer sees everything. So guys, shout out to the new ice. Oh, he missed it. Oh no. Stridart down an Observer with Biles. Meanwhile, a whole ton of Zealots in the main. At this point, Woublator realizes he's forgotten charge, chrono boosts that, but he's gonna get the upgrade anyway. +1 range already done though, but does slow down the +2 range from starting. Not bad, not bad. The big problem here for Mooninite, guys, is Mooninite is just massing Roach Ravager. The opponent's seen it. Woublator's already got 8 Immortals and now has Storm. Question is, so Woublator's like, if I was in Woublator's shoes, I would just like take a 4th and just sit there and just wait for like 12 Immortals and then just like A-move my 12 Immortals, blanket some Storms down, and enjoy my win. Don't get me wrong, if the Roach Ravager can kind of surround and get on top of this army, it's not that big yet, especially because there's no Zealots warped in, there's no supporting units. So Woublator's going for a 4th. Yeah, we really want to get 12 Immortals. 1-1's only just started. The upgrades kind of suck here for Woublator. So as much as this is a Roach killing army, that is a problem. More Zealots coming in. Just clicking on the lair. Absolute psychopath. Clicking on the drones, definitely the higher value targets, but you can't do that until you actually get vision of those drones. So just clicking it on there is an easier way to do it. Where did those 3 probes just die? I do not. Oh. Did Banelings get in there? Maybe a few Lings? Oh, big storms land. A couple Biles come down. 12 Immortals, 13th and 14th Immortal are queuing up, guys. Oh, God. He's making Ravages. Mooninite, what is this? He's going... just gonna attack with 30 Ravages. Oh, no! Wobbulator's on a move. These don't take bonus damage to Immortals, but they're pretty fragile against Storm. Oh my god, this is the most disgusting fight on both sides I've ever seen. Oh, that is back. Mooninite. Dumps like 4,000 gas into 30 Ravages. That's totally accurate maths, by the way. There's 75 gas, 30 times 75 apparently is 4,000. I have a big brain. And then just runs into Storm with it. Oh, Ravage is one of the least efficient ways to spend your gas. Very good for timing attacks, very good for surprising an enemy army, but that was pretty rough. I mean, we already said Woublator had the right army to deal with roaches and stuff, but even more so now. It was kind of funny, he actually ran out of storms, so I wouldn't mind Woublator going right up to 6 High Templar with the army. Used to always be 4. Lately, we've seen more and more players going 6, but he's getting 2-2 upgrades. If 2-2 finishes, and like the lair is not dead, but he's making another lair and is like, yeah, let's just go for +2 range, I guess. But oh, dude, like Roach Hydra against this sort of army is like expired like 2 minutes ago, and Mooninite's like, I'll just make more Roach Hydra. Like, I mean, what do you even do to get out of this situation as Mooninite? I imagine the way I would play this is I would just be like, oh, I'll just never fight the army. Oh no, he loses the lair. The War Prism was just sitting there the whole time. Mooninite with a gap in the vision. So if I was in Mooninite's shoes, I'd be like, all right, what we're gonna do? We're going to set up spotting units, wait for the Protoss to move out. Half our army's going to be here. Half our army's going to be here. And we're going to be trying to swap into mutas at the same time. Like, I would do everything I can possibly do to avoid ever fighting his army. I'd be like, when you get to halfway across the map, we're going to just run in here with like 30 Roaches and Hydras. We're going to run in here with 30 Roaches and Hydras. And then my muta's going to go fly into your main. And the whole game is just going to be about like base trading and nothing else. That's all I would do. Because Mooninite tech-wise, upgrade-wise, is just so far behind. We got +1 range, +2 hasn't even started. It's like Roach Hydra, which is a pretty basic composition against a goddamn gigantic Immortal Ball. 2-2 getting closer and closer to done. Zealots being warped in as well, which look like they're going to reinforce the army. A DT Shrine's going to be big problems because there's no spores and spines across these bases. I mean, it's going to be a frontal engage. Mooninite has just got to hope this army gets separated. Avoid the storms. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Has just got to kind of kite this army up. And if the army spreads out a bit, doesn't fight together, there is a chance. Unfortunately, the Observer sees everything. Remember, guys, shout out to the IC5 topic. It is watching from the shadows. So indulge your inner pervert and get your guys to stare at the opponent's army as much as possible. This is a good concave, but the storms are going to come down soon. Actually, the High Templar pulled back. They're afraid of the Biles. Up there, those Zealots being big dickheads. Oh, that High Templar is running forward. Mooninite, Focus Fires, gets 2 full energy High Templar, but unfortunately, all the Immortals and Archons, by the way, anti-timing, attacking right before 2-2. It doesn't matter, it's still a good timing attack because you've got 10 Immortals up against Roach Hydra. And yeah, Wobbulator's doing good. Unfortunately, no Prism at the front to reinforce. Imagine if just a few Archons and Zealots reinforced with this. This would be super unkillable. As it is, there's still Storm Immortal. We're still on Roach Hydra. Mooninite, as I said, has been on a sinking ship for quite a while in this game. Ever since the 30 Ravager assault didn't work. I think it killed like an Immortal and a High Templar. It damaged a lot of units, just didn't kill a lot. That's always the risk with trying to break an Immortal army. If you don't crush through, they will regenerate their shields and their barriers. A few Immortals going down on the north side of this. But remember, guys, 2-2 Immortals versus just +1 Hydras. They have 3 armor. The Hydras don't do that much damage. We've got Charge Zealots coming in as well. 3 3s on the way. Wobbulator's up at 70 workers. Superior income, and Mooninite's going to have to tackle out of that one. First game there to Wobbulator. wants to take that spot. GG's. Indelible Ink has just gifted a sub to Wobbulating. What's up? Welcome back to the Pigsty Wobbulator. Gibbon with a 17-month resub as well. How are we doing, guys? So I think Wobbulator may have been annoyed at me before. He said, He said, yeah, Verseborn goes to Wobbulator's taken on Twitch. He says, oi, I'm insulted. I'm insulted, mate. And then I was like, nah. I mean, you inspired me. I did the one-base robo after you did it. You said I might be dirty. I'm not that dirty. You're pretty dirty, man. You're a pretty filthy piece of shit. You know, like, just saying. No, we love you. We love you, Wobbulator. Thanks for hanging out. You take the first game in this series. And we're going to start game 2. Hey, look, that's me face. Nice. That's also me face. But it's on some bacon. Look at that. Which... because this is the second clan. Because you can only fit 100 people in a clan. So we always have 2 clan tags. So we can fit up to 200 active members in. We do, when people stop playing for a while, we do kick them out of the clan. And sometimes they get very offended. And then they come back, they're like, what? I took some time off, you guys kicked me? Fuck you guys. And we're like, oh, I mean, if you're active, we can just like re-invite you to the clan again. And they're like, oh. They're like, well, just you didn't play for 6 months, so we kicked you out. So we could let active players in and we'll let you right back in. And they're like, oh, okay. Like, it's not like a blood cult or like a religion or anything. It's just a bunch of people who have fun playing games together. I thought like a clan, maybe we'd hang around a campfire, beat some drums, drink some goat blood. No, we call it a clan. Because Warcraft and stuff, I guess. You know, there's no weird guild rules or something. Like, oh, we're not the fucking stonemasons. Just a bunch of people who play video games together. It's fine. Deep breaths, guys, deep breaths. Wobbulator going to be going for a scout. Hatch gas pool here from Mooninite, who doesn't really seem to be respecting the cannon rush at all. I'd kind of like to see Wobbulator do a filthy cannon rush, just since there was no drone on that probe. Like, you know, most people can't cannon rush that good. Is that, you think it's a Stargate? It's a bit of an odd position. Normally you'd see a Stargate like up here or here or something. I mean, you can get straight into that third and natural, and that Overlord's changed paths to go down this way. You guys reckon it's a Stargate? Wait, he sent his probe home. The fudge? Oh, it's just a future warp-in pylon. But like, you know there's like the perfect hiding place here and here? I remember I used to not realize you could build on this stuff. I used to think it was unbuildable grass for some reason. It's like, this one's just like, spot my proxy and feel the fear, bitch. But Mooninite's not even going to see it. Mooninite's just like, nah, just go straight across the map. It's cool. Is going to the main, scouting for the tech, and Wobbulating. Twilight at the front, a Zealot coming out very early, and a second Zealot. Oh, Charge Zealot. It's Charge Zealot timing, guys. We're not going to see these gases taken. It's only one gas. Overlord sees it. Overlord sees it. This is the point where as Mooninite, you need to understand that you are not going past 35 drones in this game. You need to make a shitload of roaches off like 35 workers, 2 gases as quickly as possible, because your opponent's doing a friggin' disgusting build order. The Zerglings try to get through the Zealot. The Zealot's like, mate, my name's Chadicus Maximus for a reason. Fucking 4 virgins, 1 Chad, who wins? It's like, well, if the Chad's in a choke point, he always wins, mate. Get the fuck out of here, you virgin Zerglings. Go and tell your lack of a waifu and family. Go tell your fucking love pillow lava back at home about the Zealot and the choke point. Now, you shouldn't fuck with that, man. So anyway, they're gonna run away. It's fucking Michael Cera and Jonah Hill over here. They're like, oh man, just went to this crazy fucking party and this Chad tried to fight me because his girlfriend went and danced and she like left a stain on my leg. Oh no. It's like some fucking super bad adventure, man. Shit's crazy. So Charge is on the way. We've got a Warp Prism. And I was like, cool, it's going to be a great all-in Warp Prism attack. Why is he building a Forge? Is he going to build cannons in his opponent's base? He's not going to get +1 in time, surely. He's got 100 gas. Is he going to make... He's going to make plus... It's a +1 charge Zealot. Oh my god. This is a weird build, man. Wobbulator is so filthy. I love it. I love how his Chad pylon over here didn't get scouted either. He was like, yeah, we'll put a pylon just to freak him out. And somehow it's like not being spotted. I mean, Wobbulator's in chat. I'd love to know. Did you want that to get scouted? Or was that just a really shitty proxy location? Like, was that meant to intimidate your opponent and throw him off? Or... Because Because I'm so amazed this is not being scouted. Anyway, guys, Mooninite has got 2 gases, but he's going Roach Nidus. Oh, no! No, you've seen your opponent's on 1 gas. You know he's massing units. Oh, no, I don't think Mooninite knows what 1 gas means, guys. Uh-oh. Most Protoss players have never seen a 1 gas... most Zergs have never seen a 1 gas Protoss in their life, so they have no idea what to do. I used to be the same. Until Hitman, you know, ruined my ladder experience for 2 years straight in Heart of the Swarm. Once you've been traumatized by a 1 gas Protoss enough, you gotta... You appreciate it. You do not want to attack versus this. Like, your opponent is just massing Zealots, which is one of the best raw fighting units in the game. All you need to do is survive, and you definitely don't want Zerglings, guys. On charge, the Zealots will 2-hit Zerglings, and with +1, they will also 2-hit Zerglings. They are insane. Okay, Nidus is going to pop up. I mean, if you can depower the production, there's a chance. There's not that many Zealots that have kicked in yet because he was spending money on those. Oh, God, he's warping his Zealots on the front. Are we going to unload to defend? Or is Mooninite just... Mooninite's just going to go. He's like, fuck you, let's go. All in, mate. Oh, my God. As long as he gets some drones out. Yeah, he's popping out in the main base. Look at that little... Oh, my God. Pylons. Yeah, if he focuses these pylons, Mooninite's got this. Right? 17, 18 Zealots. Oh, my God. I mean, Zealots are so good. Woublator's got to get any more Zealot Warp he can. He's going to run his probes away. Come on, Mooninite. He's going to put another Nidus Worm down there. Has he got his drones out? Yeah, he saved 32 workers. Those 22 probes are out as well. Gateways have all been depowered except for 1. 23 Zealots. There's only 12 Roaches. The Zealots win that fight. Unless the Roaches can hold a choke point, those Zealots with +1, man. I mean, the Zerglings are literally like just a non-entity. He's going to need to use drones to win this fight. Is the only way I can imagine him winning this fight is like hold position drones. Broodlings are going to do like... They barely get through the shields each time. They like do like maybe less than 10 hit points damage to each of these Zealots. So the Broodlings aren't really doing anything effective. Where's a hatch? It's built-in extractor. Oh, he didn't save enough money for a hatchery. So it's just this extractor and a few Nidus Worms. Meanwhile, Wobbulating's like, yeah, let's go. So, okay, so Wobbulator sees the gas, sees the Nidus. He knows those are the last structures. Meanwhile, Mooninite does not know about that Nexus. Okay, this is going to get super friggin' weird, man. All right, so we got 4 Zealots there. For those of you just tuning in, guys, this is a clan in-house match to see who gets to be on the CTL Grand Finals lineup. They decided to play a show match against each other to see who would get it. Okay, he's going to leave Roaches and drones. Hold the ramp. The problem is the Zealots can drop behind. And he's going for it. He's going to distract with the Zealots at the front, and he's going to go drop the structures. But he hasn't killed that Nidus Worm yet, which is a problem. Oh, man, the Zerglings are getting all these probes. Does he have any money? He's going to build another assimilator there, but... Oh, he's got a recall. You got a recall right now, dude. No, these aren't the last buildings. Woublator, you can see a Nidus Worm right there. Oh, no. Okay, he jumps in. He's going to win this fight. Notice the drone's trying to hold position, as I said, but there's too much surface area. The Zealots are still going to just tear that up. And the Zerglings, easy kill. That Knight is still alive on the left-hand side. Wait, there's a pylon as well, though. Oh my God, it's between the pylon and the Nidus. Last 2 buildings. The Roaches are still alive, but they're about to go down. This last Roach there, he's got some drones on duty, but they're all going to go down. That went down. The Zerglings going for that last pylon. Oh no, Woublator with the better army. He's actually, a lot of his Zealots died there. Those drones did a really good job, but the Zerglings have found the pylon, and that's going to be that. GG. And Woublator has been defeated. GG. Oh, God. That looked really scary for a moment there. That looked really scary. The Zealots, definitely the superior fighting army, but just buys a lot of time with the drones and Roaches, goes for the backstab, and Mooninite ties it up 1-1. Nicely done. Nicely done. The 200 IQ pylon. The pylon was the last thing to go down. The goddamn chat of a pylon right there. Oh my God. All right, guys, down here in the bottom right-hand side of game number 3, it's Woublator. And up here in the top left, it's Mooninite. So for those of you who don't know, I believe they were fighting to fight on Acropolis. You might be like, why are you playing Acropolis over and over? I believe that's the map they were going to be playing on. They can clarify in chat, in CTL, in the Grand Finals week. So they said, let's play a best of 7 on Acropolis, see who comes out on top, and that player gets to represent us. As soon as this series is done, guys, we'll be casting Icy Far. Do you want to, of course, plug that, !Icy Far in chat anytime, even when I'm offline. And that'll tell you guys the current challenge, which at the moment is watching from the shadows. Indulge your perverted side by spying on your opponent and setting up as much map vision as possible. Now, some of you might be like, oh, I'm Terran, I don't get as much map vision. Mate, it's called get cloak, make a ghost, put it on hold fire, and then go hold position it outside your opponent's base. I'm sick of Terrans whining about not having observers. Oh, it's unfair. Protoss gets an invisible unit that sees everything. Try to actually make the cloak upgrade and just... What do you think the hold fire is there for? The ghost is clearly meant to be an observer. Just hold position it and follow your opponent's army like a Protoss player does. Don't be a fucking whiny bitch. Zerg can just put overlords on the high ground. Have you ever thought of just building a sensor tower in your opponent's 4th base so you can see everything? Stop whining, Terran players. You guys suck. Stop it. Float barracks through their fucking base. There's actually 1,000 hilarious creative things Terran players can do outside of mass scanning to scout. So yeah, have some fun with that challenge, guys. Obviously, Protoss, you can just set up observers and DTs everywhere. Zerg, it's like, you can use burrowed lings to spot. You can use overseers, overlords. You can build spotting pylons and depots everywhere. I just want you guys to really abuse map vision in whatever creative, entertaining, or interesting way you think. It could be a rather basic one where you just have heaps of observers on the map, but then play a fun style with that map vision, right? It doesn't have to be particularly creative. As always, we always rate ICFAR games on a mixture of how adventurous, exciting, and ridiculous they are. So sometimes it's like, oh, this is so creative and such a hilarious, mind-breaking strat. That's cool, let's cast it. Other times it's like, this is a pretty generic way of doing the challenge, but the game ended up being incredible base trade or just a really fun, exciting back and forth game. Cool, let's cast it. So as always, it doesn't matter about the level of the game. It's more about often the excitingness or the closeness of the match or the craziness, the unique character of it. Probe did scout what's up. Wobbulator building an adept and a second adept. Now, these are 6 Zerglings. And remember on Dreamcatcher, Cyril used to hide his lings and then try to surround the adept. Okay, he's not going to wait behind the lings, behind the hedge, sorry, Mooninite, but is gonna come forward. And this adept's like, oi, fuck off, mate. Good micro by Wobbulator, though. Yeah. Gets 1, 2 Zerglings, wounds the other ones. This adept will defend them just before they get in. Look at that, they're like, the door's open. The overlord's on the wall. It's open, it's open, it's open. She pops out and she's like, you're wearing the wrong shoes. They're like, we don't even have shoes. They're like, yeah, that's the point. No fucking dirty poor people allowed in this Protoss club. The Zerg are like, but we don't need shoes. We have carapace on our feet. And the Protoss are like, no, mate. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. You either hover with your little robot floaty fucking engine, or you wear shoes. We don't want you tracking your dirty creep spread in our base, you filthy bastard. Speaking of filth, that's a very fast 3rd base at 3 minutes 30, and that's a Baneling nest, and he hasn't pulled off gas. This adept, didn't spot whether or not there was still gas mining. There is an oracle though, and Wobbulator's just sitting there. Wobbulator's such a map hacker, man. Look at this guy, he's just like, oh look, I'm just gonna leave my oracle at home to be safe. Doesn't matter though, slow reaction speed, adept goes down, ha! Yeah, you really want to hopefully wait till these oracles go across the map. Right now, if those oracles go straight across, if they spot these banelings and zap them down before they come in, Wobbulator just wins the game. But if they can bust through before the oracles really get active, Wobbo's still dead. Just because the Ling Bane can just spread into the mineral lines, the oracles can't really keep up. And there's a lot of energy on that oracle though. This could be a 30 kill oracle, and he could still lose the game. Go, Mooninite, don't wait, what are you doing? Go. No! Where are you going, banelings? What are you doing? No! Wobgate's done now. Oh no. No, Mooninite. I think that was a mistake. I think it was a misclick. Go, banelings. Oh, waste. Oh, both oracles turn on their energy. Oh, Wobbulator does a Hass. He did a Hass, guys. Oh, the banelings get through, but if he warps in another unit, the Zerglings aren't there to capitalize. Oh no! Mooninite desyncs his attack. Doing a Hass is when you turn on all your oracles, when just turning on one oracle would do the job, for those of you who don't know. He's not finished walling off though. It doesn't matter though, because one oracle has 15 kills. And then, oh no! Mooninite! And now there's a chat out. Oh, he's like, this is what I think of you perving on my kids. Get out of my base. That pervert does die. Yeah, oh no. I really feel if Mooninite went in there, it would have been fine. But then, yeah, it was kind of like, oh, baited both oracles to start wasting their energy. That's good. The problem was losing time, and then the probe was able to wall off. The banelings and lings kind of desyncing, and Mooninite, unfortunately, just not hitting the timing that was wanted there. And it's always a bit rough with oracles, because you don't want to just, like, charge in with your first banelings, get them zapped down, and then not be able to bust through, but I think you got to try to get in there pre-warp gate if possible. This wall-off is actually really funny right now, but you know what? Keeps you safe. Might need another pylon there at some point. Bit soft. Bit of a soft wall. And 39 drones versus 50 workers. 48 drones versus 50 workers. So you might be like, oh, worker count's okay. Problem is no Evo chamber, no extra queens to help defend these oracles. Really bad spore placement from Mooninite as well. Not covering the mineral lines at all. Oh no. I bet Mooninite, I know you're in chat. Please tell me you don't do this spore crawler placement versus BCs. We've coached 2 or 3 people in the last week who put spores behind the mineral lines versus BCs and lose every game to BCs. That, against every air unit, spore in the middle of the mineral line. Every Zerg out there, Terran, Protoss, you're like, I'll put the spore or the turret on the edge because the oracle comes in from there. And then you're going to have a game where you play someone who steers the oracle around and you lose all your workers. You've got to put it in the middle of the mineral line because then you can just box your workers on the exposed edge, run them to the minerals away to safety. So important. Spores behind the mineral line do basically nothing unless you know it's only a Liberator. If it's a Liberator, sure, you can go put your spore behind the mineral line, but versus any other unit, spores in the mineral line will raise your defense against air units times 1,000. The number of players in the last couple of weeks where I've noticed this and I've gone, oh no, that's like one tiny change that'll boost your win rate, especially against the triple oracle play and the BC openings that are so common right now. So don't worry about it slowing down mining time. There's always people out there who are worried about it. It does slow down your mining a little. You just want to make sure you don't build it up against the minerals. You build it closer to the hatchery, because if you build it up against the minerals, that's where it can really kind of lock your drones in and make them get really awkward. Anyways, can Mooninite get back in this game? Well, technically, yes. The reason for that is, you know what? The worker count's behind. The opponent's going Skytoss, Colossus. So, it's just a matter of Mooninite holding down the drone key for the next 2 minutes and... Spore! Ah! Ah! Oh, Hero Hydralisk comes in. Buys a bit of time there. That's also... Yeah, the Oracle can now come around this side. Ah! Anyways, my obsession with spore placement aside, you do know Woublator's probably going to sit here for another like 3 minutes before he attacks. So, technically, if Mooninite drops a 4th and a 5th, holds down the drone key, and then makes 36 like Corruptors, or a few Vipers would do it as well, right? Corruptors aren't very good versus Void Rays, so like the Void Ray count's probably going to be too high by then. Like you can beat this sort of composition with pure Corruptor, because obviously you just need to have the critical mass. I think from this economic position it wouldn't work. We'd probably want Vipers and just like parasitic bomb them down, and then use like Corruptor Viper Queen? I don't even know, man. Like this is like, you're so far behind in this situation. I'm like, how do we defend from here? We're gonna need something to like get, I guess if we're going a ground army, you could just ignore the Void Rays. Just abduct all the Colossus and you'd be fine. If you get Broodlords, that would work. Because if they don't target fire, they occupy the Colossus shot. There's chances for Mooninite, guys. Especially with a Baneling flank. A Baneling flank can equalize anything. You like get in with your Banelings in the center, you never know. Upgrade wise, we've got +1 attack and +1 attack for Woublator, both. Is it triple robo or double? It's just double robo Colossus. It's still kind of gross. What upgrades do we have for Zerg? No upgrades. So yeah, I mean, I really struggle with Colossus in general, but when you're this far behind, I think Mooninite's dead in the water, guys. We're gonna like speed this one up a little, because I think we're just gonna watch the slow, inexorable push of Woublator. Yeah, I don't know how Woublator could throw this game. I mean, I could probably throw the game. Like, if I was playing, if I went in, took over Protoss, Serral took over Mooninite, I'm like 90% sure I lose this game. But outside of that, like, you know. Zealots come in and get killed. Observer's having some good pervy times here by Woublator, guys. Woublator's like, I see everything. And he's going to push out now across the map. That's 7 Chads, 8 Colossus, an Immortal, 7 Sentries, and 13 Zealots. Woublator never brings a Warp Prism with his army. This is something we have noticed across his games. I do the same thing sometimes. He's going Fleet Beacon behind it. That snipes that base. We've got Neuroparasite Infestors. That's not going to cut it. I think the Colossus with the range, they've got range, right? Yeah, I think they'll roast the Infestors as quickly as they land Neurals. So, oh god. It's a big clump of Banelings. Oh, the force field! Oh. Guys, type F in chat to sign the petition to rename them Cuck Fields, since they just cucked that name. That was disgusting. Oh god. I mean, like I said, Mooninite had a way smaller army, but I definitely think Cuck Fields, for that particular usage, very appropriate. Back in Wings of Liberty, there were also Cuck Fields, where you'd always like float your Warp Prism in and force field them out of their own main base. But that was oof. 2-1 lead for Woublator. Yeah, God of Myth. I'm still in negotiations with Blizzard about an alternative for Dicktown. I sent them an email with like 30 different variations. Scroat Town, Gooch City, Taintville, like a bunch of, I thought they were all acceptable, and Blizzard keep just slapping them down. They're like, no, you can't have that in a voice pack. No, you can't have that in a voice pack. And I was like, Blizzard, are you a bunch of snowflakes? And I said that. I sent them a long email. There was like alternating caps and not caps. And I was like, I thought your head office was in California. I didn't think it snowed there. Yet you're all a bunch of soft, fragile snowflakes. And Blizzard was like, Pig, seriously, man. And I was like, seriously, you are a snowflake? Ha! Ah. And then I went back to watching my pickup artist YouTube channels and learning. Because like, I basically decided the whole theory with getting a voice pack from Blizzard was I said, if I'm just going to neg them, their primal instincts will kick in and they'll feel that urge because I'm powerful and warrior-like and I keep telling them how shit they are, that they would want to bang me. But like in this case, obviously you can't bang like a corporation, but they would like, you know, give me a voice pack and stuff. And it hasn't worked yet, but I still have faith. I'm playing the long journey, you know? I'm like, if I just keep calling them a snowflake, shouting at them in emails, like I reckon they will give me a voice pack pretty soon. So fingers crossed on that one, guys. Do appreciate you all saying you'd buy it. If it does come out at some point. Fingers crossed. We'll see. Eon D with the Twitch Prime slides into the pigsty. How you doing, Eon D? Thanks for hanging out, mate. Let's get that scoreboard back up, shall we? So, 2-1. And let's go into the next game, yeah. For those of you just tuning in, this is a Diamond 1 in-house match fighting for the spot to play in the CTL Finals lineup. Two of our in-house members battling to take the map on Acropolis to say who's the better player. Who gets to play in the finals. Me and Maynard will be casting the grand finals this Friday night, NA and EU time. That is 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. East Coast time Friday night, guys. If you're in Europe, it's like 2 a.m. that night or something like that. 2 hours. It's 1 a.m. Central European, midnight British then. I know it's bad time for EU. So apologies, guys. It will be on me and Maynard's streams, and it should be a lot of fun, and it should kick ass. What changed from Wings of Liberty Sentries? It's just that Ravagers can break through pretty easily, but if your opponent skips it, actually there was a phase where no one was going Roaches and everyone was rushing Hydra Bane a year and a half ago or so, and I remember seeing just a couple of games with players like Patience and Hero where they would actually land and force field the ramp, and they're like, your Lingbane can't get back into your base, and it actually worked really well. But because if you have Roach Tech, even just having 2 or 3 Roaches, you can just break the force field with Biles, so it can work out real nice. The other thing is that you expand a lot quicker and stuff. Also, Drop Tech comes out earlier. So, like, it used to come out really fast. I do remember in early Legacy, some people would do that. Some would, like, morph 4 Overlords into Dropalords and just, like, unload on the high ground. Very rare situation, but I do remember seeing it once. Alright, Zealot's coming out. Stalker's coming out now as well. These Zerglings, just being dicks here. They're like, yeah, man, I'm gonna tear your wolf. The Zealot's like, come and fight me. But they seem to have learnt their lesson from the super bad Zerglings. The Jonah Hill Zerglings told them not to fuck around with the Zealot in a choke point. They're like, if a grown-ass adult man with broad shoulders offers to fight you with a knife at a party, run away. And these Zerglings, they heeded the words of their the Zerglings that came before them. Pull out of there. Blink is on the way. It's a blink all in for a Woublator. 4 gases though. I feel like you got to go for a 3rd base. I feel like Woublator is going to make a whole bunch of sentries, take a 3rd, or fake. Actually, no, it's Woublator. So it's a build where Woublator is just going to chill, make 7 sentries, then make like 30 stalkers off 8 gates, and then kill the opponent, or at least try to. Roachborn and Evo are up insanely early for Mooninite. So Mooninite's teching really fast, but you can see the economy disadvantage. Lots of lava sitting here, so Mooninite's going really fast upgrades, very fast like Lair and Roach Tech, but the economy is in the lead for Woublator. So that's a good sign, because Woublator is doing a very late timing attack by the looks of it. Excuse me. That small pylons. Oh, no, it's almost a spike up. Yeah, that makes sense. So basically, I'd really want to see Mooninite rush to 55 drones against this sort of build. Obviously, doesn't know what's happening. I mean, you don't know. You're like, oh yeah, I mean, there's a Twilight, there's a Robo, there's some stuff happening. Like, you don't really have any info. I'd like to see some Zerglings on the map. Mooninite right now, though, is only at 38 drones and already massing roaches. Okay, there we go. A few more drones now coming in, but a very low worker count to start off this opening for Mooninite. And I feel like even with roach speed and +1, and those help a lot against blink stalkers. Once you hit like 20 stalkers versus 20 roaches, if the Protoss has had the economy advantage this whole time, it'll hit a point where if your opponent doesn't mess up their micro, their stalkers just keep blinking to the back and none of them die, and you lose like 4 or 5 roaches in every engagement, and the stalkers just regen their shields, and another stalker warp in comes in, and another stalker, and your roach count stays frozen because your roaches keep dying and the stalker count just keeps growing, and at some point you have like 40 stalkers versus 20 roaches, and the Zerg's like, well, this is just unfair. I haven't killed a single unit in any of these fights. And the Protoss is like... So blink timings especially are something where if you can't get on top of it early and force a crushing engagement, things will go badly. So because Mooninite's economy is very poor, Mooninite is going to have a big army. Great upgrades, big army. And the problem for Woublator is Woublator has no idea. So Woublator's actual correct move here is, well, number one, don't let backstabs in, and there's nothing in the wall right now, so I'm worried about that. But the other thing is wait for 2 or 3 warp-ins before you commit. Don't go too deep. Is interestingly enough going charge, which obviously helps deal with zealots. Zerglings, sorry. Has a single immortal in the mix as well. But this is all very expensive, and I feel like just growing the stalker count, and you don't actually want charge zealots with this army. I think just slow zealots is all you need, but oh my god, are they going to bypass each other on the map again? Oh, no. Okay, so Mooninite doesn't know where he is. Uh-oh, Mooninite's lost track of the army. This is about to get real awkward. Oh, the Prism! Prism's in the open! But the force fields could be deadly! Mooninite! No! Loses a lot of valuable units. But, oh, blink forward. Very ambitious blink forward. Very ambitious blink forward. Where's the force fields? Where's the next Stalker warp in? Uh-oh, Woublator's getting surrounded. I mean, the Biles mostly hit Zerglings, but only a couple of them actually fall to that. The force fields not having a lot of use in this fight. And oh no, he's got to like, oh, big Biles. Big Biles on the face. Good blink to dodge some of them. But Woublator just chased a bit too far forward there. And the Zergling flank forcing him into a fight where blink could not be used correctly. If he can get those Ravages and then pull back and wait for another warp in. Oh, but the Ravages slide away. And now you've lost all your sentries. You got no zealots. Like, yeah, Woublator's got to get out of there, man. He's going to lose the Prism. The Biles. No! Oh, he unsieged it, but he didn't move it quick enough. Woublator's dead. So, as I said, if there's one big, sudden, brutal fight, it would still favor Mooninite. But if Woublator was able to just kind of, like, get a few more warp-ins, he would outscale. But his production, lots of gateways, a rowboat, the sentries. The more units he warped in, the more he could use force fields. Those were his advantages, was not able to use them. And now we see a Zerg who's on less economy, but has such a bigger army and such a high-tech army. Mooninite has a massive advantage. If I were Mooninite, I'd probably be backstabbing. Yeah, beautiful. Or flanking can work as well. It's just going to jump on it. That'll work. I mean, even with perfect blink micro, you can't evade this. You want to blink across there. You got to blink. Oh, actually gets most of the stalkers to safety. Nice move by Wobbo. Wobbo is a bit of a Protoss yobbo, but he does get out of there in that scenario. Blinks one stalker back down. Stalker very exposed. Ah! Okay, yeah. I mean, he doesn't have enough damage output, right? Oh no, these stalkers rallying through. He's trying to blink around the terrain. Does isolate the Ravages a little bit, but at the same time, those stalkers going down on the south side, and more stalkers rallied through the middle and got caught there. Another Warp Prism comes across, but I mean, I think it's a bit too little too late. The Zealot's gonna try and engage. Warp Prism, run! Okay, the Warp Prism does manage to evade, but so many Zerglings, it does not even matter. And Mooninite jumps on top, crushes the timing attack, ties up this series. Hot diddly damn. Nice, come back there. Yeah, so the problem for Woublator is didn't really have the information, and I liked the ambitious blink on the Ravages, but needed to disengage from that very soon after. Ended up being a bit too close there. So it looks like this series is going to go a little bit further than I thought, guys. I'm hoping the games get a little bit quicker. I didn't realize this. I'm like, okay, it's 2-2 in a best of 7. I thought this would be over faster, but they're good games, so I'm enjoying it. I just feel a little bit bad for those of you who've tuned in for Icy Fur. Don't worry, we do have a bunch of replays ready, 3 replays to cast for that. Big shout out to Fluxior who helped select them. I didn't want to jump straight into the Icy Far cast. I said, you know, let's start with something a bit different to try and, so yeah, we go. Let's skip the first 2.5 minutes, and then we can actually cast from there. There we go. This is where exact same openings, nothing new, and now some new shit can actually start happening. Beautiful. So, Fluxior is our new Eon Blue, for those of you who don't know. Don't know if Fluxior is still awake, but if you are, say hi in chat, give a wave. And if any of you hate on him for not selecting your replays, you can all go shut the hell up. So yeah, if you are here at all, Fluxior is selecting the Icy Far replays from now on, has volunteered, and has my wholehearted support to tell you to fuck off if you guys attack him for not choosing your replays. Just remember, you all have a biased view of how good your own replays are. Most of them suck, and even though there might be 1 or 2 exciting things, there's probably a whole lot of boring points in between, and they can't all get selected. So don't be a whiny bitch and send him angry messages. I know some people used to do that to Eon Blue until Eon Blue got very experienced at telling people to go and fuck themselves. So yeah, don't go harass him. It's only a couple of people who do that. If you guys are like, oh, I'd actually like some feedback on why my replay wasn't that good, maybe you could ask him, but be very friggin' nice about it. Maybe. Generally speaking, he probably won't even remember because he's going to have to sift through many, many replays. But big thanks to Fluxior, our budget Hostyn, for hanging out and choosing good replays for us. And yeah, we're going to be continuing Icy Far. So we've got a new topic for next week, which is, of course, watching from the shadows, where you guys need to indulge your perverted side, get some map vision. One of my favorite things with map vision, by the way, guys, is like burrowed zergling there, burrowed zergling there. Like not just on the bases, or sometimes I will even skip it on the bases so they don't get detection. And you just like have burrowed lings like all over the place. And it's just like the sickest thing to just track their army moving around the map. Even a burrowed ling there, it actually has like a good little vision. Good little ring of vision. Not as good as an unburrowed unit, of course, but pretty damn nice. Anyway, Overlord comes through, sees Immortal production. That's a second Immortal. Oh no. No gases either. This is going to be a slow Zealot all-in attack. The Zergling comes in, sees no gases at 4 minutes 30. And I think that's all Mooninite needs to just say, yeah, I'm going to build roaches, followed by more roaches. Unfortunately, Mooninite has not taken extra gases. Good worker count in this game, but no gases. And that's going to kick you in the butt once you start building roaches. There we go. Yeah, because it has a good gas bank for now. But there we go. Yeah, Mooninite building 1 more round of drones. I mean, that's the absolute max. 6 Overlords tells me is gearing up for roach production now. So as long as Mooninite stops into roach production from this point, it's like the perfect position to defend and have a nice solid economy lead. There we go. Whew, I was staring at that production tab. I was like, if Mooninite builds more drones, he's probably dead. He still doesn't spread creep, which is a big problem. Just 1 creep tumor getting out to there, 1 creep tumor getting out to here, really gives you a lot more room, especially against force fields. Now we see Woubulator's only got 4 sentries and isn't really going to be building many more. Looks like, okay, 6 sentries, 2 Immortals, a Warp Prism. For here, it's just Zealots and Stalkers. Yeah. And Woubulator should be moving across this map very quickly. This time, Hallucinated Sentry, Hallucinated Phoenix does scout roach production already on the way. When you haven't even moved out and your opponent's already massing roaches, that does make you a little bit uncomfortable. Sees only a handful of roaches, though. I think Woubulator's really got to get a move on. Adepts? Oh, okay, so he's going for the ranged army. This way, the Zealots, if you go Zealots, they kind of run out in front of your army, but the Adepts kind of sit in a ball behind force fields, killing Zerglings all at once very well. They're not quite as tanky as Zealots. They are, of course, still a 1 armor unit, but they have 10 less hit points overall. Well, actually, it's a lot less, because if you think about it, a Zealot has 100 hit points, 50 shields. Notice there's no plasma shield armor. You guys can't see it because I'm blocking it with my face and body. But basically, the more hit points, the more valuable. So you get 30 extra hit points with the armor as a Zealot, and you get the extra, 10 hit points / shields overall. So Zealots are a fair bit tankier. They do have more raw damage output, but look at this. The Adepts, yeah, the Zerglings can't really engage into that. But, Woubulator, these units get on top. No! Oh, he dodged it. A few too many roaches in on top, but the Immortals are doing their work, man. Now the Zerglings are gone. The Immortals working their magic. The Prism's got 4 hit points. He needs to get a Queen down here. If that Queen can come around and like get one hit, go Queen. Mooninite, go! If that Queen gets the Prism, he can maybe hold on. He's got 11 more roaches in the way. He's got a lot of minerals, but not enough gas. Ah, shit. Okay. Oh, gets an Immortal. Yes, it goes down. Nice target fire by Mooninite. running forward here. Lots more roaches coming out. Roach speed's done, remember, guys. Bile spreading across this army, forcing the disengaged Wobbulator. May have to pull back, but nice pullback here from Mooninite. Those force fields are getting a bit nasty. The Queens are here. Definitely could do some nice transfuses. Some good Biles, both sides going back and forwards. There's only one Immortal. Losing that other Immortal was huge. The Queen runs forward, but she goes down before she can finish off the Warp Prism. But there we go, the Biles to finish it off. The Biles to finish it off. The Immortal's gone. The Prism is gone. And with that, Mooninite, as I said, beautiful economy lead, had banked up a lot of gas from the early game because he never pulled off gas this time around, and just barely hangs on with the Roach Ravager. Now Wobbulator on 2 gas is like, I don't have a Twilight Council or any Immortals. I have 8 Slow Zealots and a Warp Prism. Bring it on. Yeah, this is... Wobbulator's like, tis but a flesh wound. And he's like hopping around on his stump trying to headbutt Mooninite. Mooninite's like, dude, just, you can surrender, buddy. And Wobbulator's like, I'll bleed on you. I'll bleed on you, mate. And yeah, it's... And Mooninite's like, I'm not even gonna... I'm gonna go back and make 2 Evo chambers, buddy. We're gonna let you bleed out on the ground. Like, Mooninite's not even just going up and chopping his head off, which would be the nice thing to do. He's like, oh, I'll let you bind up your wounds. And Wobbulator's so gone. He's so screwed, man. He's dead. He's dead. Let's fast forward. Like, there's no... It's mass slow zealot. If he wins this game, it is going to be Mooninite making the most classic pig ultimate cocky fuck up. Like, you guys know when I'm like, oh, I've won this game, it's over. And then I make every upgrade, 80 drones and 4 bases against someone who's like got literally nothing. Mooninite's going double upgrades and up to Hydras, which is like really unnecessary tech right now. But he's staying at a healthy work. Not being too... Build 6 more drones. Okay, don't build 11 more drones. Don't. No more than that, buddy. No more than that. You're against a 2-base opponent. That's... Don't make any more drones. Building Zerglings and more drones. Oh, God. Stop it! Make units. If you lose this game, Mooninite... I mean, I still don't think he can lose, but there's no creep spread. And he's making Zerglings right now against mass slow zealot. It's like, just make more Roaches and Ravagers. More Roaches and Ravagers. You can do this, Mooninite. You can hang on. Mooninite, please. Survive! That's, yeah. That was an impression of every Terran player watching Maru vs. Trap on Saturday. Please, Maru, survive! It's fine. Slow Zealots are pretty trash. Half the Stalkers are shooting an Overseer. You do want to stutter step a bit, Mooninite. He's being a little bit lazy with his micro, yeah. It's like mass Slow Zealots, like the most comfortable. Yeah, he's going to spread some Biles. A few more. He's got plenty of Biles in there. But you're going to notice Mooninite. There we go. There we go. Mooninite only had 3 Ravages on a control group. But there we go. I mean, Wobbulator makes the fight a bit closer than it could have been. Could have been much worse. But nonetheless, that there is a dead Protoss. Yes, indeed. He's like, I guess it wasn't a flesh wound? Yeah, you were dead. GG's. Lots of timing attacks coming out of Wobbulator here, and Mooninite seems to have kind of found the comfort zone of 50 drones into Make a Billion Roach Ravager, which is a very good one-size-fits-all counter to Wobbulator. So I'd like to see Wobbulator switch back to that first game, play some macro, because right now, guys, we've got a 3-2 advantage for our Zerg player in the top left, looking for that spot in the CTL Grand Finals, representing Taste the Bacon. It's partly Moon, partly Infinite. It's Mooninite. Down here in the bottom right, in the red, representing Taste the Bacon as well, it's a Wobbulator. Which I imagine is a technical term for what a washing machine does. Wobbulates, right? Like, if you get a really good washing machine, it does like 4,000 wobbulations a minute. Right? Pretty sure that's what a wobbulate is. Sounds like a real word. When I grow up, I want to have a high-powered washing machine that wobbulates at a very high rate. Wow. That was an interesting path. Hatch first. And Scout here for Wobbulator. A Wobbulator is actually a circuit. Like a racing circuit, you mean? So is that, where is that? What's that, is it NASCAR? Formula 1? What sort of? Hey, say Leckle, thanks for the 3-month resub. Something about Pig's energy is infectious. Try and learn some Starcraft. Last time I did play some match, first units I built were High Templar. Traded well, somehow I lost the game. It's a mystery. I think you may have built the wrong first units there, say okay. Isn't that the most typical thing? As like, it's either you build one of everything or you go straight up to a really high tier unit with none of the basic stuff to support it. I love it. Thanks to the 3-month resub sale, Cal. You should hop back on, dude. There's nothing wrong with losing video games. It's actually the best. Triple Helix has gifted a sub to Fluxior. Welcome to the Pigsty, Fluxior, our new legendary budget Hearthstone. I forget. You are Protoss, right, Fluxior? I always forget your race, dude. I'm trying to remember. Because you're Masters 1, right? Actually, no, I knew Zerg. I don't even know. You are Protoss? Okay. You Cannon Rusher, mate? Oh, do you play a lot of NA, Fluxior? Are you GM EU? I know you'd probably be low GM NA, right? Nothing wrong with low. I'm not saying it is a bad thing. Only on EU? Cool. You've made GM before, though? I think you have, right? But you're not currently GM. You're about 5.6k at the moment. Oh, okay, cool. You're on the edge of GM then. All right, I think you're like 5.4, 5.3, something like that. That's like edge of GM. Cool. Edge of EU GM. So that's top 16 NA GM for those of you who don't know.
My man.
Also, if you guys make it to platinum on the Korean server, you will beat Cyril. You will beat Cyril easily. That is a true fact. That's a very fast Roachhorn from Mooninite. I actually think just Zerglings is all you need here against this 2-gate opening. These 2 adepts are just trying to force an overreaction. It's just a sentry and a zealot behind it. And they've done their job, guys. They forced 14 Zerglings, which is a lot, and a Roachhorn, and they're gonna get worker kills. Oh, Mooninite's in big trubs right now, guys. Big trubs, big trubs, big trubs. Oh, fuckity shitballs, guys. Okay. That's potentially a game-winning move right there. Forced an overreaction already. If you killed no workers and just pulled your adepts home, you'd be happy with this as Wobbulator. But you got 5 workers and you make him abandon his main base. Like, that's a game-winning move. That's like 30 probes versus 19 drones. This amount of income damage this early in the game is ridiculous. And Mooninite desperately needs to cancel that gas, pull off gas, and just hold down the drone key for 2 minutes to have a chance of coming back into this game. Is holding down the drone key, but is still mining gas. And like, desperate, is putting guys on gas as well. No! Just drones! If you guys fall behind, you need to like really put all your eggs in one basket. If we're focusing on gas mining, I would say Mooninite needs to stop at 30 drones, go pure Ravager Ling, and do either an all-in or look for like a crushing, overwhelming defense on Wobbulator's push timing, one or the other. And is off 28 drones going into Roaches. So it looks like is indeed planning to do that. It's going to be a 2-gas mass Ravager Ling from Mooninite. Now, because Wobbulator is going for a timing attack once again, I'm pretty sure with 2 Immortals already building, we'll see a Gateway Explosion. Might even be very similar to that last one, just with the 3rd gas for more Sentry Stalker, as opposed to Slow Zealot. So it's a similar attack in that you're not getting full 2-base saturation, you're stopping at the same worker count, and you're just going to go a bit more ranged unit focus rather than like Adepts and Slow Zealots. So basically, Ravager Ling, if you crash into this wall, you'll just get wrecked. But if you hide your units, remember, Wobbulator's been pretty blind this series, guys. Just pushes across with a preset timing, sometimes gets overwhelmed. The thing is, in that last game, Wobbulator actually Sentry Hallucinate Scouted. And what I'm scared about is Mooninite is pushing in. And yeah, and there's a chance Wobbulator panics, forgets to build pylons, and then Mooninite wins, but 3 pylons go down. No! Those 3 pylons being remembered is like, basically checkmate. As long, I mean, there's so much force field energy. We're gonna go to the ace match. There's no way. I mean, basically, if Mooninite sees that and says, ooh, I can't break that, you leave a Zerg and you leave hide your army, wait for him to push out, and then surround him. And this is what we call the ultimate dumbass move, where your opponent can't scout your army though. Now now you're dead. Now he knows as well, so you can't even pull off the ambush. The ultimate dumbass move as a Zerg player is just massing units way before you should, hiding them, and just waiting for your opponent to move out, and then just jumping on them and trying to win the game. So it's an all-in, but you don't pull the trigger until your opponent moves out. So if your opponent doesn't move out early enough, you just lose the game. Simply because you've destroyed your economy so early in the game. So early. Anyways, I'd like to see Wobbulator actually going forward and fighting this a bit earlier, but Slow Zealots are there to handle the Zerglings. Good force field count. If he can trap a few of these Ravagers, ooh. Good move through the biles. Only eats one bile there. He's a bit slow on the force fields. Like, it's good stutter step, but where are the force fields right now? Oh, yeah. Like, Woublator's really derping on his micro. So sometimes this attack works because the Protoss shits the bed. And right now, Woublator lets out a big explosive splurt across the bed sheets. It's not a full shit. It's more of a shot at this point. Is it going to be enough to let Mooninite back into this game? Doesn't land on the Prism. Loses an Immortal or two, though. Oh, my God. Woublator shat the bed, guys. Oh, no. No, there's a nugget. There's a nugget in the sheets. That's a full-blown nugget. It's not just a shot anymore. It's not a little wet spray, guys. He shat the bed. There is a full nugget of shit. Woublator still up in 6 probes. He hasn't lost yet. Oh, no. The unit's separating here for Mooninite, and it's only Zerglings coming in now, which are not good versus this. Oh, good enough surround, though. He's got the numbers. Nice biles there. Zoning. Oh, my God. The Immortal almost died there. Oh my God, this is still so close, guys. Because there's no mining on the natural, we're actually seeing Mooninite outproduce Woublator right now. You've just got to remember that Zerglings are not very good versus Zealots. And Woublator, those Ravagers getting caught. Yeah. And this time, the Ravagers were so focused on the Immortal, those Zealots have come down, and now the attack washes up. Mooninite is going to have to re-drone or swap back into road traffic. He attacks the rocks. Attacks the rocks. Mooninite's panicking. Woublator's panicking. They're both panicking. I mean, there's shit in the bed. The problem is Mooninite jumped into the bed to try and strangle Woublator, and now the nuggets of shit are spreading on him as well. He's like, what have I stepped into? This is gross. And now he's making a baneling nest. That's actually a really cute idea. And a lair. Don't like the lair. I feel like one round of drones would be really nice. And just going into a macro game because you've killed so many valuable units. The problem is 17 kill and mortar from Woublator. Yeah, unfortunately, Woublator just froze up. Didn't use any force fields, really, in that army. If he'd been force fielding and just kind of not moved his whole army out into the open, kept warping in, he would have been fine. But he's lost a lot of his Immortals now. Oh, the Zealot battle line against the Zerglings. Zerglings getting ravaged here, dude. The Zerglings just got ravaged. It looks good for Mooninite until you realize every Zergling dies and only about 3 or 4 Zealots died there. That's it. That's game. That's a game-winning fight. Mooninite had spent the previous minute building drones. Should not have been engaging the army. Your opponent's only been building army. You don't want to fight there. Should have backstabbed. No war. Wide open natural, wide open main. But Mooninite losing focus in the chaos is now trying to rebuild Ravager Ling, but lost that core of early Ravagers. And I don't think he's going to be able to get up enough. He might, just barely. I'd love to see Roach Speed and just pure Roach Ravager here. Zerglings are the most useless thing right now. Banelings could be nice. If he'd made a few Banelings as well, that would have been good. Imagine 7 Banelings in the middle of that. Run away, Mooninite. Don't fight here. It's Mass Slow Zealot. You can't fight Mass Slow Zealot. Run. Kite it down. Never stand your ground against Zealots. No. Woublator got him. Oh my God. Woublator shits the bed and then somehow wins the game anyway. That was a... Woo. He tries to throw the game, doesn't quite do it, because he was way ahead. Remember how bad Mooninite's situation was from the start, guys. So, anyway, I'm sure someone in chat's going to be like, Mooninite threw that game. Did he, though? Like, he almost won a game which he never should have won, and then it slipped away. So, it's like, I don't think we'd call that a throw. I think we'd call that a... I think it was a bigger shit the bed from Woublator, and then a smaller shit the bed from Mooninite in the follow-up. So it turned into a disgusting match. It was so funny, though, because I've shat the bed a lot against Ravager Ling timings where I've got all the Immortal Sentry just like Woublator. I think I'm winning. I think I've got it. And then I just, like, stand there and eat biles while not force fielding. Exactly what Woublator did. So, Woublator, I love you, buddy. I've done the exact same move. I'm going to be relentlessly making fun of you for that huge fuck-up of that defense. I've done the same thing. It's like the Protoss thing where you're like, I have everything I need to defend. And then you just fucking take your hands off the keyboard and mouse and stare at it while you just die. And you're like, why didn't I micro anything? And you're just like, you're so disgusted with yourself. You're like, there's also, I think there's a part of disbelief where you know this attack should do nothing to you. So you're kind of like, is he actually doing this? Really? I got 8 gateways and like 3 immortals and a bunch of sentries. Like, this is the dumbest attack. This isn't going to work versus me. And then you just get absolutely wrecked by it. So we've all been there, Woublator. Hats off to you for ending up closing it out after almost throwing that game. That was crazy, dude. But yeah, Sentry is very important to micro that unit correctly. So Sentry Immortal, super powerful when you land your force fields. When you don't use your force fields correctly, we saw that it can just get jumped on and you don't have a lot of raw damage output until you get a lot more Zealots and Stalkers and Adepts and stuff warped in there. When you hit a certain amount of Zealots, we saw that fight in the middle. There's like 10 Zealots in a row. And they all got heavily wounded, but very few of them died. And they killed like 40 Zerglings very quickly. So that fight was kind of brutal, man. Anyways, another 2-gate opening from Woublator. It was such a huge lead in the last one. Now, guys, remember when you see this as Mooninite, all you need to do is build 14 Zerglings and have them on top of the 2 queens out front so that you can start hitting the Adepts, and your Zerglings just follow the shade. Ling speed's not done at the start, so you've got to have the Zerglings ready before they shade in with these 2 Adepts. If you do that, you'll be just fine. Now, he's delayed the Adepts slightly to go Nexus first, and now he's going for the Adepts. We'd like to see a Chrono on that one first, and then a Chrono on this one a bit later, once that lines up. Or maybe you don't even need to Chrono that since it started so much earlier. They'll pop out very similar timings. And we do see a Robo behind it on 1 gas. Oh no, it does start a 2nd gas. Okay, cool. So similar build order. And let's see. I mean, you've seen this as Mooninite. You know there's 2 Adepts on the way. You've got to start that Zergling production right now. The other thing is you usually want to make sure you start the 3rd base just before the Adepts arrive, because otherwise they can block your 3rd. So, oh, no Zergling started yet. Oh, Mooninite. Oh no, saw the 2 gateways but wasn't paying attention. It's the exact same scenario as last game. Oh no, it's game 7, it's the final game. Build Zerglings. Oh no, starts up more drones. Okay, so you gotta hope that Woublator fucks his micro up here. If you guys are a Protoss or a Zerg fan, you're hoping Woublator fucks up his micro. If you're a Woublator fan, you're looking for some smooth Adept focus fire. You'll probably get 1 drone before this shade finishes. Goes, gets 1, cancels it because the Zerglings ran into the main and the queen. The drones didn't evac. Yep. You also want to evacuate with the drones ahead of time. And remember, those 2 queens could have been hitting them the whole time from the front of the base. You pull the drones back as needed. Zerglings follow the shades. And, just too much damage. Yeah, you want to overbuild Zerglings immediately so you just take no damage to this. You cannot afford to take 8 drones. Similar scenario to last game, about 30 probes versus 18 drones. It's brutal. I mean, all you can do as Mooninite here is just hold down that drone key as hard as possible to recover. Is Mooninite going to do it, or is Mooninite going to put on gas and take a 2nd gas and go for the same sort of Ravagerling as last game? Looks like more drones, Overlord. Yeah, okay, he's just going to try to power up to recover. And that can absolutely work here. I'd love to see the addition of creep at some point. Just since every game, Woublator is doing timing attacks, and we've never really seen any creep spread, and it just makes defending so much more difficult. That Overlord, if it runs to the side, could get out of there. He's going to sacrifice it for now. Needs more drone production desperately here. He's going to go for a Baneling Nest. Interesting. There is a 3rd gas, which means more sentries and stalkers, which is bad for Baneling Nest. If it's only 2 gas, you know, lots of Zealots or Adepts, units that are weak to Banelings. Thankfully, more drones are coming in. And so it is a defensive Baneling style. Creep also becomes way more important with Ling Bane. So, and using queens to help shoot down warp prisms, since you don't have Ravagers to do that. But there's no extra queens. Worker count's still quite far behind, but it's catching up. So good macro from Mooninite here. Woublator just doing a very contained style. 3rd Immortal on the way. Oh my lord. And he's going to cut probes there, I believe. I think this is the last probe building right now. We're going to see a gateway explosion in the main. Oh. Overlord just out of vision. Doesn't really need to see that though. I mean, you kind of know the range of things that are coming your way. A big Ling Bane surround could do this, but no creep spread, no upgrades, and no workers on the 3rd base means very low flexibility from Mooninite. So I think the same sort of ambush I was talking about in the last game, we're going to be wanting to see again. The problem is this Phoenix. If this spots no workers on that 3rd, Woublator can go, oh, let's take my own 3rd base. Let's go up to Archons. Like, you just see a lot of Zerglings, no drones on the 3rd. You know you're actually ahead on economy. Right? Yeah, sees the Ling Bane, sees no drones. So this is the problem, is you kind of need to try to hide this if possible. It's awkward. Hallucination is such a good scout at counting drones, but if you show them the army and they see the lack of workers on the 3rd, they know for sure what they're up against. So this should tell Woublator to, like, warp in more sentries, be very careful with your move outs, wall off behind it. If you're going to commit to the timing, you can still do it. I personally would just drop a 3rd and go for like Archons and go for a later timing attack with like, let's probe up to 55 probes and go. But Woublator, as long as you leave a Zealot in the wall, it's okay. You just got to be real quick at doing extra warp-ins if they Ling Bane backstab. At the moment, there's very little anti-Zergling. So even though you can force field out the Banelings just fine, problem is, we need a big round of Adepts or Zealots warped in ASAP. Like, right now as Woublator, he's moving across a little bit. He doesn't know that there's no Zergling there. He's warping in pure Stalkers. I mean, they're good at absorbing Baneling hits, but we still don't have... I'd love to see just a handful of Adepts warped in there. Mooninite here, getting the army ready, is looking to kind of attack from two sides. You can see he has two army squads, but I think the keys are overlapping. So that surround is not ready. Oh, he's going to try to come in from here. Where are the force fields? Force fields, force fields. Oh my god. Yeah, that's the problem, is the units were not actually set up to flank this. You need to be coming in from behind. Abandon, abandon, abandon setup. Yes, Mooninite's doing it. Mooninite's coming in with the flank. Baneling slipped through. Baneling slipped through the hole. Mauling Bane around the back, but it's not quite synced up. So many units. That Chad in a hole in the force field. The force fields are too good. And I think too much Zerg's gone down now. He's lost most of his army supply for damaging the shields. Yeah, there's no force fields left. Doesn't matter. Oh, Cuckfield. Oh my god, Woublator. In the first game and the final game, just doing some magnificent force fields and just shutting down the opponent. You see an attempt to get out some Hydras here, but really no gas for that. No upgrades on the Hydras. And Mooninite not going to be able to deal with this vastly superior Protoss army. It was always going to be a gamble going for the Ling Bane surround. It can work. You've got to have your surround like so set up. Like, you'd have like 3 squads of units ready, and you've got to close it in all at once. The problem there is that if you pull the trigger early, not only do you lose units before the other parts of the surround get in, but you notify your opponent what your game plan is. And the moment Woublator knew what was up, he like kept his units in a ball, and he did not miss a force field from there. He was like, nope, shut out that army, engage this army. As that army gets engaged, shut out the Banelings, shut out that army again. This army's coming in, we'll engage it while zoning out the other armies. And he basically fought a small chunk of his army at a time. Woublator ends up taking the fight, taking the game, taking the series, and does go forward to represent Taste the Bacon in the CTL Grand Finals. Hats off to you, Woublator and Mooninite, both of you. A very close series there. And definitely one where it felt like, in my opinion, I think Woublator had very clear build order choices each game. It was like, this is my game plan. I'm hitting this specific timing attack. This is my build. I might do a little bit of pressure into the build, which is a really good organized way to play, right? Because there's no doubting yourself. It felt like Mooninite, as the player was playing a bit more defensive, started to get a little bit more panicked in the midst of the, ooh, what attack's it going to be this time? And started overthinking, I think, with the Ling Bane tech, whereas, you know, we saw just the early defense of the 2 adepts, a very simple thing that really needed to be sorted out after that 6th game, but ended up taking the exact same damage in game 7. And didn't spread creep throughout any of those games. So, you know, ended up, I think the Roach Ravager was the perfect army, right? Definitely. I think it was more about the early defense and getting enough workers up than anything. So, Mooninite, if you want any coaching tips, it would be just focus on your defense and your early droning. I noticed in a lot of your games, your Roach Horn was down ridiculously early, and you weren't actually building roaches for a while afterwards. So you can probably get away with delaying your lair and Roach Horn a little bit, focusing on your droning a little bit more in general. But then also, yeah, remember, build those Zerglings ahead of time to shut down the 2 adept pressure. If you let them get in and you don't have your defense ready, your 2 queens at the front, your 14 Zerglings on the shade, we saw what happens there. Showtime will still occasionally do that 2 adept build because players don't react hard enough to it. And he'll get in and do a bunch of damage because people haven't played against it in like 4 months. Or, you know, it's like 1 in 30 of their practice games at most. And they lose like 7 drones, and he like even recalls the adept sometimes. He's just way ahead. So it's not a bad build. It used to be much more popular in early Legacy of the Void, but definitely something you got to have that defense down. Fighting from that far behind is always tough. Dragged Under, thanks to the Twitch Prime sub. Zick Data with a 15-month resub, and Sail Cow with a 3-month resub. Appreciate all of the support, guys. That was a very long series. But excited to kind of plug CTL a little bit. Why? Because CTL is awesome, and me and Maynard will be casting it, so don't forget to tune into that, guys. CTL Grand Finals. It'll be up on YouTube afterwards if you can't watch live, but it'll be on me and Maynard's channels this Saturday morning, my time, which is Friday afternoon and evening, 4 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. 4 p.m. West Coast time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Of course, that's 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain. I don't know. I'm not going to give every time. So East Coast and West Coast is fine. That's 1 a.m. Central European time on Saturday morning, Friday night as well. Tune into the CTL Grand Finals. We'll see you guys there.